This episode of Like It or Not is sponsored by CH Peptides, a trusted source for high-quality research peptides like tirzepatide, BPC157, and IGF-1LR3. With fast shipping, consistent purity, and top-tier service, CH Peptides keep things simple and reliable. Want to learn more or book an appointment? Just call or text 707-380-6411. Tell them your boys from Like It or Not sent you, and you get 15% off your order. You can also order at chpeptides.com and enter Like It or Not at checkout for 15% off your order. So do not delay. Call today. That's CH Peptides. Products are for research use only, not intended for human or animal use. Complete Health Peptides makes no claims or promises regarding the effects of any product. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Thompson Construction. Thompson Construction is an excavating and grading general engineering contractor based right here in Ukiah, California. They specialize in septic system installation and repairs, land and site development for residential, commercial, agricultural, anything you got going on. These guys can handle it. No job too big or too small. At Thompson Construction, they love what they do and they take the utmost pride in their work. Customer satisfaction and great attention to detail is a major goal of these guys. So give them a call today, 707-391-7679 for your free quote. That's 707-391-7679. This episode of Like It or Not is sponsored by The Thirsty Axe, Ukiah's axe throwing and music venue extravaganza. Go to thirstyaxe.com to view their calendar of all their upcoming events. Saturday, March 28th, we have a Bob Marley tribute featuring the Sonoma County roots band Soul Horizon. Saturday, March 28th, Soul Horizon doing a Bob Marley tribute night. Doors open at 8 p.m. Pre-sales online are $15. If you want to pay at the door, that's $20. But I suggest you go to thirstyaxe.com and get your tickets today for Saturday, March 28th with Soul Horizon doing a Bob Marley tribute night. The boys at Pure Blends Barbershop have done it again, ladies and gentlemen. Voted 4 years in a row best barbershop in Lake and Mendocino counties. That's right. If you want to go to the best, that would be Pure Blends Barbershop. Call right now to book an appointment, 707-472-6097. Get yourself looking good like Drew and I do at Pure Blends Barbershop. Spring is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, and you have a project that needs to be done, and we have the people to do that project. DC Customs, that's who we're talking about. You have a truck that needs a lift or an exhaust or new tires, or you want to pimp out your ride, DC Customs is the place to do it. Go to dccustoms.net or call right now to get your project started at 707-463-2227. That's the OG's DC Customs. My name is Carter Lane.
I'm Drew Nickel.
Welcome to the show. Oh my God. I think you have a problem, bro.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my goodness.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, buddy? Back in the saddle again?
Welcome back.
No, you welcome back.
I recovered.
I see your pink eye healed up pretty good.
Did you put him up to that, Joseph?
No.
Was that your idea? He said it was your idea to tell everybody that I had pink eye.
I like this.
He wasn't here last week because he was sick, and I told everyone he had pink eye.
Yeah, very funny, motherfucker.
Well, you had it coming, bud.
Why?
Because you told everyone I missed the one 2 weeks ago because I had hemorrhoids. And I had surgery and I was bleeding, and people were like worried about me.
I would choose pink eye.
Over hemorrhoids? Yeah, I know. I could have went worse, but I was like, I don't know.
Oh, well, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, glad you healed up.
Welcome back to another episode of Like It or Not. Today's special guest is the Donkey King himself, Ron King.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Hello,
dude.
hello. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and chat with us. I really appreciate it.
Of course, happy to be here.
Yeah, we see you on the billboards around town, and we've watched the show, and I went out and visited the ranch, and I think it's so cool what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think it's like really, really cool. I guess my first question would be, what is this TikTok video that changed your life?
So,
Yeah.
So
Right?
I moved here to sell a piece of property for a friend. So somebody I know owned that property. It was COVID, and he needed to get out. He bought it to turn it into a farm animal sanctuary. He put somebody there to do that. That person spent a bunch of money, built a gorgeous house. There were no animals. Their relationship had a falling out, and that person moved to Mexico. So my friend said, "You're not working at the moment. You're really good at solving stuff. Will you go out and sell this house for me?"
Are you a real estate agent?
Nope. I know how to get shit done.
There's the guy who handles shit.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
the fixer.
Hell yeah.
That's
wolf.
exactly
They call
right.
it the wolf,
That's
dude.
exactly right. So I had a couple different sort of thoughts that we can get into or not. But I was laying out by the swimming pool in a Gucci swimsuit, scrolling TikTok, waiting, literally counting down the weeks until I went back to my life. And my TikTok algorithm is usually scare prank videos. I prefer that. So the fact that the algorithm showed me this video, but I saw a video of a woman at an auction rescuing donkeys from being slaughtered. And I wasn't an animal guy before. I didn't watch animal videos on my phone. These algorithms are really smart. Like, it makes no sense that video got served to me, but I also believe very much that serendipity is sort of what forms our whole life. And it hit me at the right time, and I started Googling, why are people slaughtering donkeys? I had been thinking about having a life with impact and how impact and joy seem to be the same for me, and I'm tired of helping people. I was like, all right, I'll help donkeys.
People are exhausting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives me my first question. My next first question.
Yeah.
We didn't have any questions, by the
Hit me
way.
with it.
Why do donkeys need saving so bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the last thing I would think about.
That's right.
Is
So
it
Or donkeys.
donkeys
Yeah.
are being slaughtered in massive numbers for a Chinese herbal medicine called Yizhao. It's a gelatin, it's in pills and shampoo and lotion, has no proven benefits. They say it makes you look younger, makes your penis hard. So
right.
they sell a lot of it. And it's a huge market in China. So the donkey sanctuary in the UK thinks they're slaughtering between 5 and 6 million donkeys every year to keep up with the demand for Yizhao. So
There's that many donkeys in the world?
it's a real problem in other parts of the world.
And what part of the donkey do they eat?
The hide, it's
get
the
it from
skin.
the hide.
They boil the skin down.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So is that what's going on in the U.S. too?
Yeah. So donkeys. So
Okay.
I go to a particular auction in Bowie, Texas, which has a contract with a slaughterhouse in Mexico, and so it's illegal to slaughter equine in the United States. So they go to this one particular auction. They buy them there by the pound. So they'll buy 40,000 pound of donkey, drive them across the border, slaughter them, and ship them to China. So I go to that particular auction because I've done my research and I know that's where the slaughterhouse is, and I outbid them, and then I bring them back to California.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Not all heroes wear capes, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
Wow,
And,
dude.
and like, not only was I not an animal guy before, but I saw that TikTok video. I decided to leave my media career and save donkeys. I wrote a business plan. I presented the business plan. I got the business plan approved and I got funding. And then I realized, shit, I've never met a donkey. What if I don't like them? Or what if they don't like me?
Yeah.
And so I panicked, and so I got 3, Goose, Pickles, and Shadow. They still live at Oscar's place today. I fell madly in love with them, and now we're like 480 donkeys later in 5 years. And
Dude,
yeah,
weren't an animal person like at all?
at all.
Where did you live before?
And so I spent 5 years in Atlanta, 5 years in San Francisco, 5 years in LA, and 5 years in New York. At the end, I was living in LA and working in New York. So I'd fly to New York every Sunday and fly home every Thursday. So I was commuting between the two cities.
Wow.
I had a completely different life.
Yeah.
So
And now you're on a ranch
No, I'm on a ranch.
with 480 donkeys.
Well, we adopt out a lot of donkeys, but our current number is about 220.
Jeez,
Yeah.
man.
And we have 2 locations, one in Hopland and one in Potter Valley.
So when you go to the auctions, like, are you bidding on per donkey, or are you bidding by the pound too?
I'm bidding per donkey. The by the pound sale happens the day after the auction. So the kill pin buyers buy them all, and then when they sell them to the slaughterhouse, they sell them by the pound. So they are buying them the day of the auction. They're buying them with me, donkey by donkey.
And the donkeys that are there, where do they come from? How do they end up there?
It's a really interesting question. And I had a long meeting today with somebody that represents the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management. And not many of my donkeys BLM donkeys, or wild horses even, have branding on their neck from the BLM, so you know that's where they're from. And not many of my donkeys do. So they're not from the BLM, and nobody's breeding donkeys for slaughter. So donkeys are pregnant for 14 months.
Right.
So it's an incredibly long gestation period. So it's not profitable. No one's in the donkey breeding business. So I'm not sure where they're all coming from. And of course, I don't know anything about them when I get them. So it's still part of the equation that I haven't quite figured out.
And so is it like an all-day thing? They're like, hey, 55, 55, 55.
That's exactly it.
All that.
Yeah. And
had you ever been to an auction before?
of course not.
They don't have auctions in New York?
That seems like some redneck shit right there, dude.
I spent most of my time at the Versace fashion shows in Milan, so it was a very, very different life. No, it's. I mean, the auction is a really shitty and horrible place, and I really fucking hate going. And I go maybe 3 times a year, and every time I go, a piece of my soul stays behind.
Yeah.
And so I don't have an infinite number of auctions in me, because it really, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Sophie's Choice, but I'm walking around deciding which donkeys live and which donkeys don't.
Right. I was going to say, there's no way you can buy them all.
No, and
right?
it sucks.
There's probably hundreds.
And because what I do is I rehabilitate them physically, I rehabilitate them emotionally, and then I rehome them. Right? So every time I find a donkey a new home, I can then rescue more donkeys. So the way I can scale this operation is by adoptions. And so I am walking around looking for adoptable donkeys that look friendly, that look healthy, which means, I remember the very first one I went to, I stepped over a donkey that was there with a broken back because I wasn't going to get her. And I let them put her on a truck and ship her to slaughter. And it's a very tough position to be in. And I don't really wish that on anybody.
Yeah, that would eat at me too.
Yeah.
I just, going to the Humane Society is hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, the world of animal rescue is very interesting. So I come from a business background. I wasn't an animal person before, so I built this like a business. And I run P&L statements on every time I have a sick donkey. But what's interesting about animal welfare is that there are people out there with far bigger hearts than me in complete hoarding situations because they can't say no. Mm-hmm. And I really understand that. I feel lucky to have boundaries, but it's a slippery slope, and it's really difficult to say no, but you have to say no.
So you had said you made a business plan and pitched it. Like, who are you pitching the Donkey King business plan to?
Yep. So I had a couple investors in the first year, and basically what I said was, you want your legacy on this planet to be animal welfare. I have discovered that I want to save donkeys. If you help me get up and running, I need 3 years. I need 36 months of investment to be fully self-supportive. But I commit to you that at the end of 36 months, I will be raising money through donations. So I became a 501c3 with the U.S. government. It's complicated. It takes a really long time. And I invested a lot of money in marketing, primarily on Facebook. That's where I find my donors. And exactly at the end of the third year, I was spending and raising about $2.5 million a year, $27 at a time. And $27 is my average donation.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did it, and they trusted me to get it done. But I said, you can't launch a business without funding. I have got to have money to make this work. But if you will give me 36 months, I will take it from there. And they did.
And so now you're self-sufficient on your own donations.
Yep. So we just turned 5. So for the last 2 years, we've been completely self-sufficient. And our budget and it guides everything, our capacity and our growth patterns. And but we only spend what we raise minus a savings for some endowment for future stuff.
Yeah. And you must be doing okay because you bought another property, right? You guys have expanded a little bit. You
Somebody
said
gave me that property, so I didn't buy it.
cool.
But somebody who wants to see us continue to grow and save more donkeys said, "Why don't I buy you a piece of property in Potter Valley?" And so it's a great property. So donkeys, well, you've met some of my donkeys.
I
So
have.
some donkeys are very dog-like.
Yeah.
And very interactive and really dependent on people. And some donkeys want to be left the fuck alone. Those donkeys get to move to Potter Valley and just live your life out on a mountain.
Just like the humans.
Yeah. Pardon me? Yeah.
Just like the humans
Exactly.
in Potter Valley.
Oh, well, I'm not.
All of them.
I'm going to stay completely out of that. I have found Potter Valley people to be very lovely.
No,
In
they're
fact,
great. It was a joke.
Yeah. I won't joke
Carter's
about
like,
it.
hold my beer on the fence with people right now.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And what I loved about visiting is that the donkeys that are very friendly just like come up to you and put their head like right in your chest.
No,
And you're like, remember, and you were like,
I think donkeys
they want-
are way more like dogs than horses. They are big.
Yeah.
They're 700-pound dogs.
yeah, and you see the clips of like the lady who's like sees the donkey and then the donkey recognizes her
Yeah,
and
yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
seen her in 5 years. Like, "Rrrr," makes this donkey sound, comes like running.
Let me hear that one more time.
That didn't come out like
Drew's
it
never
sounded
been
in
on
my
a donkey
head,
farm, dude. I don't think you've met a donkey, have you?
I watched your show though, and I was
Thank
like
you.
instantly like, I want a donkey now. I'm gonna have to go adopt one and put him out here in the yard or something.
You got to get two though, right?
2.
yeah.
They're very emotional and yeah.
They depend on each other.
Well,
Thank you
two's
for
a good
watching
number.
the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the show's great. So tell us, how did that come about?
So I used to be front row with Donatella Versace. I used to have a very different life. Like I got manicures at my desk every Tuesday. I was a bit of a corporate douchebag. And so when all this happened, the media world thought it was really interesting. They were like, Ron King from New York Media is saving donkeys. That's funny. So I got lots of press when I opened.
That's funny.
And, and like in the beginning, there are plenty of photos on the internet of me scooping donkey shit in McQueen and Burberry because that's all I owned. I didn't own any Carhartt or Dickies. I mean, now I've got plenty of it. So I think originally they were I don't think they were making fun of me, but they're certainly enjoying the irony. So I got lots of press. David Begnog from CBS Mornings came out and did an interview with me, and it was an 8-minute segment on CBS Mornings. And in that 8 minutes, I raised $200,000.
Oh,
And 3 years later, it's still my biggest source of discovery. I have more people tell me every day, I saw you with David Begnog on CBS than any other source. And I realized the power of TV. I didn't quite realize people still watch TV.
yeah.
And so I was like, oh, people watch TV and TV speaks to people. And in fact, my demographic definitely watches TV. And I like this idea of letting people find me versus me going out and finding them. So in the world of animal welfare, we all buy the same list. And so if you make over $75,000 a year and you love animals and you have 2 cats at home, you're on a list. And everyone buys that list and everyone bombards you for donations. And I know people who are on that list and they have like stacks of mail like this. And I didn't want to get lost in all of that. And so I thought, let me just tell everyone who I am. And if you want to support me, you can come find me. It's kind of like the lighthouse approach, and it's worked really well. So I knew from that segment that we needed a TV strategy. Then I sort of sent the word out. I'm looking for TV strategies, and I met with lots of production companies. They all wanted the Real House Husbands of Mendocino County. Like they wanted lots of sex, lots of drinking, lots of arguing.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you will be really loud, we'll give you a TV show. And I said, that's not us. It just isn't. And so I really stuck to my guns about wanting to spread joy. I've said that I want to be the Ted Lasso of reality TV. I want people to just sit back and feel good for 30 minutes. No other shoe's going to drop. Like, I want to spread joy. I found donkeys because I was searching for joy. So I finally, about a year in, found Monument TV, a production company out of Salt Lake City. They got it completely. They produced a 3-minute sizzle reel, which captured exactly who I am and exactly what we're doing. And we started shopping. Took a long time. But
Wow.
now we're on ABC, 17 episodes. Season 1 is done. Episode 8 airs this coming Saturday. It's a good one. So 17 total. We are in the process of finalizing season 2 at the moment. We hope season 2 debuts on October 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So have you done TV before this at all? So what's it like filming a reality TV show? That's got to be weird, like trying to be normal with the camera in your face.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
And
do
you
get-
could have went the Tiger King route, but you didn't go the Tiger King route.
I could have gone the Tiger King route. I did get quite a bit of flack for the name. They're like, "Oh, you're trying to be like Tiger King." I was like, "Literally, my last name is King." So
I thought it was brilliant. I'm
thank
like,
you.
dude. I was walking around. I was like, "When's Don coming on?" He's like,
Yeah.
"It's Ron." I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, Don King."
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, you get used to it, but little things like this is a perfect example. When I have a team meeting, we have to stand in a semicircle.
Yeah, so the cameras can see
So
it.
the camera, and so that's a very unnatural thing to do. So you have to get used to that kind of stuff. You get mic'd. My day starts at 4, so I get mic'd at 4, and you're mic'd all day. You're taking a shit, you're mic'd. Like you're mic'd all day.
You're like, hope
Yeah.
I don't use this one.
Yeah, the guy's a fucking jackass.
and-
And they're like,
and-
"We heard you."
Sometimes, but no, that happened all the time. And sometimes I was like, sorry, guys. Like, don't know. I know someone's listening, so sorry. But for the most part, I got used to it. I mean, I made a couple. So I'm an executive producer on the show, so I could help control the message.
Nice.
And, we had a couple non-negotiables. So the way reality TV works, you live your life. You make a note of anything funny or interesting that happened. Then the TV crew comes and they set up for a week and you reenact everything. So
No way.
That's all reality TV.
No way.
Yeah. So
Wait, you're telling me it's not like live?
yeah,
That thing?
no. And so I
Did you
won't
know this? This is blowing my mind right now.
I figured it had to be some version of what you're
Yeah.
saying, right? It just would have to be. But
Yeah. Logistically, it doesn't work. It's but we didn't do it. So I
Yeah.
said, we're not actors. So if we have to reenact, we're going to look like douchebags and nobody's going to believe us. Like people really have to, every decision we make, everything we do has to be believable. And so we shot over the course of 3 years. So
Wow.
I said, if you capture it, audio and video both, then you can use it. If you didn't capture it, we're not using it. And so that's why it took so long. And it's also why it's so good. Like, I studied a lot of animal shows that have failed. And I think they failed because you just didn't believe them. And, like, I really hope when you're watching Donkey King, you believe that I'm not putting on a front for TV. It is what it is.
I 100% felt
Yeah.
that.
Good.
It's very authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially you, like the way that you approach these animals and like how much you like love these animals
Yeah.
shows tremendously.
Thank you.
And like that's one thing I noticed immediately was the authenticity of it. So
Very much by design. So I love to hear that.
yeah, that's really cool. So you spent 3 years filming one season?
We spent 3 years filming one season, not because it takes that long, but because I didn't have a distribution deal. So, I have impeccable timing, and I went into TV the same month that the Hollywood industry fell apart. So there was a big Warner Brothers Discovery merger that turned Hollywood upside down. Nobody was willing to greenlight any shows. Nobody was making any decisions. Everything got halted. So basically, for 3 years, no one bought anything. So we took our time filming it. But then when we got the ABC deal, we hurried up and finished. And then season 2 won't take that long. Now that we have a formula.
Yeah.
The
Used to
donkeys
it.
are the story.
Yeah.
I'm there to help facilitate it, but it's a donkey story. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I found interesting while watching the show was, I think it was the show I was watching, or maybe it was you on like Good Morning America or something. But was saying like donkeys are like the forgotten species, and I was like, whoa, that's kind of a trip, but I guess it's kind of true.
yeah, I had never thought of them. You had never thought of them. Like nobody thinks about the donkey. And when that day I was by the pool, saw that TikTok video, and I was doing that research, I realized that like there are thousands of horse rescues. And, donkeys have no monetary value to humans. So horses win the Kentucky Derby. And they're elegant and they have ego attached to them. Obviously, cattle and sheep and goats, all of these farm animals are parts of financial industries. There is no financial industry for donkeys outside of the Chinese. And so they used to do what tractors do.
Yeah, they're replaced by John Deere.
That's right. So nobody's really looking out for them. And that spoke to me a little bit. Like, I've always sort of felt like an outsider, and I've always sort of felt like I had to find my own way. And I was like, all right, well, no one's looking out for the donkey. I'm going to look out for them. And you talked about my love for the donkey. And I do have genuine love that I actually feel for these animals. They also love me back. And there's science behind how emotional a donkey is. It has to do with the construction of their brain. But how lucky that I didn't, no offense to any other animals, but I chose the animal that's fully capable of saying thank you to me. My donkeys, I don't know if you met Viejo while you were there, but Viejo hugs me
He's
every
your best
day.
bud, right?
Yeah. And so it's easy to love them because they love you back.
Yeah.
So
They are kind of like that way, and like a dog kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just hard to have in your house.
They are hard to have in your house. And they're in the opening scene of episode 1 of Donkey King. We have a donkey in the house.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing we did that was scripted.
Yeah.
But it's funny how many people ask me, and I was like, there are literally GoPros in my house. That would be very weird if that wasn't set up. But anyway,
Yeah.
it was a good scene.
So you said you were a media executive. What exactly is that? I'm curious about like your old life before you were here.
Yeah. So I was a senior vice president at a company called Time Inc. Time Inc. was the largest publishing company in the world. So I was in the magazine industry. So as senior vice president, I oversaw 7 brands. So InStyle was the fashion brand that I ran. It's a fashion magazine. It was very popular. People Style Watch. Essence, the Essence Music Festival, People in Espanol, Southern Living, Coastal Living, and Sunset. So I ran 3 categories: fashion, multicultural, and shelter. And had, several hundred people that worked for me. And part of running a fashion magazine is that you have to go to all the fashion shows. And they treat you like $1 million because they want you to cover them. And so, I would fly first class to Milan, and you have to wear Dolce & Gabbana to the Dolce show. You have to wear Prada to the Prada show. I was changing clothes in Sprinter vans and being walked in. It was like...
Are you buying your own clothes, or are they giving it to you?
They give you a clothing allowance. I had a personal photographer that followed me around. Like, it was over the top. It's very cool because my intentions behind this TV show are so pure. And I ask myself about my intention all the time because I want to make sure I'm coming from the right place. But I'm not chasing my 15 minutes because I felt like I had already lived my 15 minutes. Like, that life was really fun. And I'm really glad I lived it. And I wasn't missing any red carpets. Like, I hosted 3 Golden Globe years. And so I was like, I did all that. And so I'm really doing this for the donkeys. And I'm really glad I got all that out of my system. It is also very easy to say, oh, you left a shallow life for a meaningful life. My life wasn't all that shallow. I was confused about something, but it was a great life. Like, I don't bash it at all. I feel really lucky I got to live that life. What I realized when I moved to this ranch, so I have a friend, Evelyn Webster. She's the CEO of SoulCycle. She's a powerhouse, wonderful person. And she had said to me for years, I wish you would find what brought you joy. And I would say to her, fuck off. I'm super joyful. Like, I fly first class everywhere I go. I'm in Milan twice a year. I drive a Mercedes AMG. Like, I am full of joy. Stop harassing me. And I wasn't being a dick. Like, I guess I should watch my mouth a little bit.
You're good here.
Children's show on ABC on Saturday mornings.
This also like it or not.
I wasn't being a jerk. I meant it. And then when I was out in Hopland to sell this house, and it was super quiet, obviously there were no donkeys there, no fences there, no barns there, like nothing was there. And I was going on a walk one day, and I was like, why does she keep harassing me about that? And I was 51 years old when I realized, oh shit, there's a difference between things that I enjoy and things that bring me joy. And that enjoyment and joy are 2 different words. I didn't know that. I flunked out of college for drinking, so I hadn't been educated in a really long time, but I had been chasing things that I enjoy. I enjoy driving a Mercedes AMG, wearing Dolce & Gabbana, and flying first class. I really do enjoy those, and so I've been working my ass off to fill my life with things that I enjoyed, but none of those things bring you joy. And so on that walk at 51 years old, I was like, I've had it all wrong. So how do I know what brings me joy? And so I looked back at my life and I thought, when have you really felt joy? And I identified 3 times. And the common denominator each one of those times was that I was having an impact on something outside of me. And I was like, oh, so for me, joy means impact. That's interesting. And I just sort of filed it away. And then it was just days later, I saw the TikTok video and my whole life changed.
Interesting.
That's so cool.
Yeah, thanks.
That's such a rad story, man. I love that. I love that introspection that you brought to that question that your friend posed to you over and over. Right?
Yeah, and it wasn't like, I'm not that wise. I just sort of out of frustration was like, why does she keep saying it? But I'm happy to share it, and I'm happy I found it. But like, I'm always...
She must have been noticing something, right, in you?
Well, yeah, that I wasn't joyful, that I was sort of a...
That you weren't happy?
Douchey. Yeah. Like, I was fun to be around, and I was super funny, but like, yeah, she was worried about me, I think.
Yeah.
Did your life feel shallow to you at that point?
It didn't feel shallow. I don't know if it felt meaningful. Like, life is interesting. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in my life now is that multiple things can be completely true at the same time. This is a completely new concept for me. And so, you know, I was enjoying my life. I don't know that I felt that shallow. I thought I was really important. And I thought being important was important. And not only was I really not that important, I mean, I think in that world, was I the most important person in a room? Often, sure. But it was fake importance, right? And so, you know, nothing I was doing really mattered. I was either going to sell enough ad pages to hit my numbers or I wasn't. And it wasn't an important life. And now I live an important life. But it was fun.
What difference do you feel between now that you've experienced this newer life that you have and versus your older life? Like,
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm really I'm at peace. I don't have anxiety. Like, I feel really clear. I'm really confident that I make a difference in the world every single day. And I make a difference with donkeys. And then a complete side benefit of this was the difference I make for humans. I never set out to make a difference for humans. I don't really care about them that much. But I've created something, or we have created something that is really special. And we have 100 volunteers. And I hear every day how healing it is for people to be at Oscar's Place and how special it is. I have volunteers. I have senior citizens who are there every single hour that we're open. So whatever that is, 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, every single week, rain or shine, because that's where they find their meaning and their healing. So it's really cool to be able to provide that. So I think now, like, I'm making the world a better place for donkeys and humans. That feels really great. I'm really tired. This is really hard. I was doing a podcast 2 years ago, and I said in the middle, I forgot to ask you who we're talking to. Who are we talking to? And she said, oh, these are people who our audience wants to open animal sanctuaries. And I said, don't do it. It's fucking hard. And I never stop working. I'm just as stressed about raising money as I am about making euthanasia decisions. Like, I have the responsibility of hundreds of animals and 21 employees, and go volunteer somewhere for years before you decide to do this. I got really lucky. I have lots of skills, but it's really hard work.
yeah. Do you feel more stressed out now than you do in your old life?
I don't feel stressed. I feel tired.
Tired.
I don't feel stressed, really.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, anytime if you're making an impact and getting joy from that, of course, that's going to be tiring. You know,
Yeah.
It's part of kind of comes with the territory, right? If you're really running and gunning, making a difference. So you're open to the public, is that right, or what's that look like? Yeah, I would imagine.
It's tricky language.
Yeah.
The answer is we're open to the public, but we also, to get insurance, we can't be. So we are open to visitors 4 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You have to have a reason to come. That reason can be, I want to donate, I want to adopt, or I want to volunteer. And volunteering means brushing a donkey, right? So it's not very hard to meet that criteria, but you have to have a reason. You can't just stop by willy-nilly because you want to go to a petting zoo. So we say we're not open to the public so that we can keep our liability insurance. But you make an appointment, you come during those hours. It's very easy to come. Madison, who coordinates all of it, is amazing. Everyone's first time visit, they get a tour either through Madison or through me. It's a full-on donkey experience. You go in with the donkeys. You sign a liability waiver, and you go in with the donkeys.
Yeah,
It's
first.
just you and the asses, huh?
Yeah,
Asses everywhere out there.
yeah.
So, how does one sign up to volunteer? On your website or what?
Yep, all the information is on our website. You can go to contact us or how can you help or
What is your website?
OscarsPlace.org.
Okay.
There you go.
It's also DonkeyKing.com. You could go to either one.
Yeah.
The minute we named it Donkey King, I bought the URL, so I'm really grateful about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and all the information is on there. All the ways to contact us are on there. We get all those messages. We read and respond to every message, which is an interesting thing about animal welfare. One of the biggest comments we get is that we got back to people.
Mm-hmm.
But we no longer answer every DM because they've gotten a little bit crazy. But we do answer every email that comes to us. And
That's
so
awesome. You can name a donkey?
if you have $1,000, you can name a donkey.
You can call it whatever you like.
That's right. We have had Honey Boo Boo. We have had Tay Tay and Pay Pay. Like, I don't care if you pay me $1,000.
Yeah, we'll name it whatever.
Yeah.
Huh?
We'll rename it.
Yeah.
So another thing that I caught from your show is the gratitude you have from your crew.
Yeah.
Seems like you have like some amazing people.
They're
that are
incredible.
working with you.
The Oscars Place team. So almost all of them were recruited off of Craigslist. I ran a Craigslist ad, and I say in the ad, this is a poop scooping job in the heat. Do not reply to this job if you don't want to scoop poop. That's what it is.
In the freaking Ukiah.
It's like a hot poop out here
Now,
right now.
I hire and fire very quickly, so lots of people have come through, but the ones that have stayed have been really amazing. And I have a whole range. I have an 18-year-old, and I have a 72-year-old, and he has gone through cancer and been homeless, and he has found his healing through donkeys.
Wow.
I have another guy who was drinking himself to death after his wife died, his sister called a social worker on him because she was worried that he was going to kill himself through drinking. And the social worker went to visit him, and in his house, she was like, why do you have all those donkey figurines? And he's like, oh, my uncle died when I was little, and he left me his donkey figurines. He loved donkeys. And she said, well, there's a donkey sanctuary like right down the road. And so he found the ad in Craigslist, he applied. I didn't have a job for him. I didn't know his story, but I didn't have a job for him. For 6 months, he followed up every Wednesday. Finally, somebody quit. We hired him. He's there to this day, Donkey Dave. And he says that, donkeys saved his life. Like, these are incredible people who, I think when you work for a mission-driven organization, I don't know, I just feel so lucky. They're really awesome, and I'll do anything for my team.
Yeah. And it seems like as far as I can tell from the show, right? They really trust you and like believe in your vision and what you guys are doing out there.
I don't beat around the bush. And so I think, it's always been my leadership style. And I think that while conversations with me may not always be fun, I always tell you the truth. You always know where we stand and you trust me. And I think that's the right way to lead. So,
Yeah.
That's what's up. So what's a day in the life of a donkey? Like, what do you have to do for these guys? I had horses growing up, and they were an incredible pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I had to feed them all the time.
Yeah.
They
do want to eat. It's really
they
annoying.
love to eat.
Yeah.
I know.
So do my children. That's the worst question in the
3
world.
times a day.
At least they don't ask what's for dinner every single night of your life.
Listen, I feel
kidding, I
the
love you,
same.
girls.
If I could take a pill and never have to figure out what I'm going to eat, I would do it. Like, I hate figuring out what I'm going to eat. Donkeys are, so they eat and they poop. And that's people's jobs to feed them and pick up their poop.
Yeah, I would
Flies are actually a huge concern. They carry lots of diseases. And so we scoop the poop of every single donkey every single day. So we have 75 acres, 200 donkeys.
Damn.
Every piece of poop is picked up every single day. So that's quite a job. But
do that math.
Whoa.
yeah, it's a lot of poop. And local wineries come and take them and use it to fertilize their grapes. And so... yeah, they sleep. They go indoors and sleep. We have a really great facility. They get fed at 7. They usually hang out and play and nap all day. They get fed again at 4. And then they do whatever they do when the sun goes down. I'm not out there, so.
They do donkey stuff.
But they love people. And so, like, Guy, one of our poop scoopers, has like we have an orphan named Roxanne. She's just addicted to him.
I met Roxanne.
Yeah, she's incredible. And so she's like, she knows if she stands in front of his UTV, he can't go anywhere. So oftentimes he's just out there negotiating with Roxanne how to get by. And they really love when people are in their pastures. And and they're funny. They have like toys. They play with toys and they play football and they grab the same ball and they wrestle and then they chase each other around. And they're a hoot. I mean, I genuinely belly laugh out loud every day at my donkeys because they're funny.
And they get along with each other for the most part, or do you have like llama drama out there going on with the donkeys?
I don't know what llama drama is.
I don't either. I made that up.
It was good, actually. They don't spit in your face. Isn't that something?
Yeah, there you go. None of that.
Donkeys are herd animals, and so each sort of pasture has a herd. Every herd has an alpha. And they do fight to see who the alpha is. And like Viejo, my donkey, was the alpha for a long time, and he has been dethroned. I saw it happen, and he was all bloody and gashed on his neck.
Wait, were you bummed because it was your donkey?
I wasn't that bummed. He was bummed.
Were you rooting for him?
Yeah, I was rooting for him.
That's his bud.
Yeah. So but yeah, once they settle into how they all live together, they're great.
Can you tell like which one's going to be the alpha?
Yeah, and they have different personalities. But yeah, it's
The one that dethroned your guy, though, you didn't send him to an auction?
no. In fact, it was Goose, who was my very first donkey ever, and he sort of took over. So
So you get donkeys through the auction, through owner surrenders.
That's right.
And is there other ways that you get donkeys? Those are the two main ways.
that's it.
And how often are you rehoming them?
Often. So 5 years in, we've rehomed about 185 donkeys. So that's a lot. We really carefully screen every adopter. About 85% of the people who fill out an application don't make it through the process. So we say no to a lot of people. People want donkeys for very odd reasons.
What do you have to...
we don't have to go there. That's not one of the reasons.
That's not what I meant. I just can imagine.
Are you thinking about Tijuana or what were you?
No, nothing like that. It was a kid show, but I was more like just some of the goofy stuff you probably see with people who want donkeys.
Yeah, I mean, in the very beginning, somebody was like, "We need a donkey for our nativity," and I was like, "What will you do for the other 11 months?"
Right.
And they were like, "Oh, I hadn't thought about it. Like, we're at a church," and I was like, "Is it going to live it? Like, come on, people."
Nope.
But donkeys are great guardians of other livestock, and they have this reputation because they're badasses. They will fight coyotes and bobcats and mountain lions.
Oh, that's good for around here.
Yeah, but I don't really like donkeys protecting other animals. I like people protecting donkeys, and so I don't really like them as guardians. But and then people are a little bit obsessed with miniatures. But yeah. Anyway, we've rehomed 185 donkeys
With the miniature donkeys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there still, have you heard of this herd of wild miniature donkeys out on McNabb Ranch Road?
No.
I don't know if they're still there, but there's a herd of miniature donkeys running wild.
No way.
Out
How have
on
I
Mc-
never heard this?
Yeah, he's the Donkey King, dude.
I know. That's why I was
And I
saying.
think I live near Big Nav Ranch. Somebody saw my donkeys and they're like, look, they're all wild.
No, McNabb Ranch is on the way out to Hopland on 101.
Yeah. It's like
right.
right where the strawberry patch is, kind of there on the way to Ukiah.
Yeah.
So I was out Bus McGall Road, and I'm a real estate agent in my day work, and I hear this I got the road behind me. I'm taking pictures of the house down below me, and I hear this click, 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 and I turn around, and there's 3 miniature donkeys all lined up behind me, and I turn around, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude, this is going down!" Like these guys, they got me lined up here, and like one of them started doing that, and then the other one ran halfway towards me and stopped, and then the third one ran right at me, and I had to get out of the way and jump in my car and drive off. But
They punked you?
yeah, I got punked by 3 mini donkeys on McNabb Ranch, dude.
What?
I know it sounds like I'm making this up, but I swear on a stack of Bibles.
I have a feeling you were being punked. I have a feeling there were hidden cameras somewhere, and that was all set. Because that is not.
It wasn't mini donkeys. It was me in a mini donkey suit.
No, dude. There is a herd of miniature donkeys. I don't know if they're still there because this was maybe 10 years ago, but there was for sure a herd of wild asses out there.
Crazy.
He doesn't believe me.
Well,
King's not impressed.
Depending upon your edible consumption that day, I wonder if they were German shepherds.
All right, dude. Somebody help me out there in the comments when this drops.
Chickens,
They're
dude.
gonna be like,
That sounds more like rooster activity to me. Oh my goodness. So what are the good criterias for people adopting donkeys?
You've got to want them to be your pet. Like I very quickly say, why do you want a donkey? And to be your pet is the answer. And if you really drill down on price, so lots of people ask what it costs to have a donkey. And I'm like, not much until it does. I mean, it's kind of like a lot of animals, right? Like they could be easy, cheap keepers. Or something could happen and you need to spend $10,000 at UC Davis. And so it's a difficult answer. It's a difficult thing to answer, but you've got to have land and good fencing and, just basics. And I was given a tour. I'm also not a great people person. And I get annoyed or bored very quickly. And so sometimes Madison has to intervene with me on tours because at one point I'm kind of like, all right, I'm over it. And I hope they don't listen to this. But I was doing a tour once, and the guy kept asking about how much they poop. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, look around. There's donkeys, and they're pooping. You can answer your own question, really. But he wouldn't stop asking, and he asked about the volume and the size. And I said, I've got to ask you, why are you obsessed with donkey poop? And he said, 'cause I don't want to have to pick it up. And I was like, well, then you shouldn't get donkeys. Like, this is very easy for me to solve. If you don't want to pick up donkey poop, don't get donkeys. Go get a cat. They poop in a box.
Yeah.
And I actually said, I think we should call this adoption tour off and let Madison wrap it up, and I went back to the house. But
so you can tell pretty easily which ones are good candidates and which ones aren't, right?
Spending some time with people tells you a lot.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that like really want to do something, right? Like want to adopt them and like have a good heart about like, I could take a couple donkeys. I got some property.
Yeah. And we're happy to talk to those people. We do a site visit for every single adoption. Mm-hmm. So we put eyes on your property. Only one time has anybody ever lied to us. Only one time have we done a site visit and said no. Every other site visit has been just fine. If your heart's in the right place and your mind's in the right place and you got some space, we'll get you a donkey. Two donkeys.
People just got to they're animals and they live 24/7. So when you go on vacation,
and they live for 40 years,
right? What I mean?
I oftentimes have. I just had a conversation not too long ago with a woman who was 80, healthy, great, loving, had resources, but I was like, they're going to outlive you, and we have to talk about your plan. Like 40 years is a long time.
You can get her a 35-year-old donkey.
Yeah, we don't typically. We do have a couple of those, but we don't typically send them out.
Yeah, it's probably hard on them. Huh?
Yeah.
So, how many babies have you had at Oscar's
We've had 51 babies, 54 babies born there in 5 years. And it's pretty magical. So the donkeys, this is a little bit brutal, but because they're sold by the pound, they breed them and they get them as close to birthing as possible because they're heavier and they get them more money. It's just what people who think animals are commodities, it's how they think. And so we get them, and I would say 80% of the girls we get are pregnant.
From auction.
From auction.
Wow.
And then we have lots of birthing problems. And so I don't adopt out pregnant donkeys because, they had terrible nutrition and lots of stress in the first half of their pregnancy. And we intervene probably 70% of the time. And we have things that don't work out well often. And so we keep them there through that. And then if they have boys, they have to get castrated before they go. So yeah, we've had lots of babies, and I mean, I could tell you a million middle of the night delivery stories, but sort of the running joke is I've had my hand in more vulva in the last 5 years than in the 50 years leading up to it. Like, I am very well acquainted with the vulva.
My guy.
Yeah. It's all new for me, but yeah.
This wasn't a perk of the job you thought about when you started the
In
ranch.
fact, I have a really funny video. I'll show you.
Look at you now.
So I've delivered lots of babies, and I have literally been elbow deep in many vaginas.
Wait, you don't have a vet that does this?
No, I do, but I mean, now I have a vet on site, but this is brand new. But for 5 years,
Yeah.
I'd have to call and wait, and if they were available, wait for them to come.
Yeah.
That I'm only showing you this because I think you guys will think it's funny. But I had a girl have twins, and we got one baby died. We got the baby out, and the vet who was on the phone with me said, "Is her vagina bruised?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know what a bruised vagina is, so here's a video."
Are you looking for bruise?
You tell me, is this bruised or not? I don't. There you go.
Oh Lord! If you saw what I just saw,
I can't tell if it's bruised or not.
Me either. That's
How
my
do you
point.
tell?
it looked pretty bruised to me.
You're hired, Drew.
Judging by the color.
That was fun.
So you have an on-site vet now that
Now
lives
I have an
there.
on-site vet.
So she's there 24/7 pretty
yeah,
much.
Yeah, and it's great. But like, I've definitely had stuck babies. I've had dead babies. I've had it all, and I've delivered lots of babies, and I've done lots of really traumatic and horrible things. It's part of it. And generally, now I tell my vet it's her job. But before the vet, I would rather, if I know this outcome's going to be brutal, I would rather do it than have somebody on my team do it. So it's funny. And I have lots of people who know me, who have come to visit, who have said, "I don't know how you just did that. I would have tapped out." And I was like, yeah, but when you're in it, like,
you do what
lives
you
are on
have
the
to
line.
do.
You just do, you just dive in, literally.
What choice do you have, right?
yeah.
It's like, you're doing this, you're doing this.
So my vet had been there maybe a month, and she went to a wedding, and she called me, and she said, "I'm watching the barn cameras, and Lucille, I think, has had her baby, but there seems to be a problem." So I went out there. I had her on my FaceTime, and I was talking to her, and the baby was out, but not nursing and not standing, and the placenta wasn't out, which is deadly for females. And she said, "Are you comfortable giving a shot?" I was like, "No, but it's 3:30 in the morning, so what's going to happen?" So I'll do it. So I went and drew up the shot. I came back on FaceTime. She was telling me where to go in the neck, and I gave her the shot in the neck. And the point was it was a hormone to try to get the placenta out. And when it get out, so she's like, tie it in a knot. You can't pull it, so tie it in a knot. So the weight. Have you ever tried to tie placenta?
Nope.
Yep. It's really
Not yet.
slippery.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was so much harder than it should have been. And I needed the baby to nurse. The baby has to nurse within 2 hours. So I'm trying to guide the baby to the udders. I'm trying to get the slippery placenta tied. I gave the injection shot, and it all worked out. I got the placenta out. I did a little wash of the vulva to get the residue out. I got the baby to nurse. Everything was fine. The sun came up, and I was walking back to my house from the barn, and I was just really struck with how capable I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, not from like an ego point of view, but I was like, fuck, you did that.
Yeah.
And
Like, it's
like a
cool.
ball.
Yeah.
That's what's up, dude.
Yeah. And those donkeys are there today. You probably met them, Lucille and Lottie Mae, and they're amazing. And like, they're amazing because I got them through that night.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Do you have some of them that have like a special place in your heart that
Oh, for sure.
that you won't get rid of or that you won't bring home?
Other than Viejo, no. And we're just sort of changing that philosophy a little bit because we're getting so big. And we do have a waiting list of adopters who want donkeys. And so I'm rethinking our permanent residents. But it's an interesting phenomenon. So these donkeys come to us damaged by people, usually. And so the only way to get a donkey to heal, because they're so smart, is you have to open up your heart and give 100% of yourself to them. It's almost like the authenticity of the TV show. If you're holding something back, the donkey knows, and they're like, yeah, fuck off. So you have to be 100% there to do that. You fall in love with every donkey. So in some very strange way, adoption days and euthanasia days feel exactly the same for me. And you
You're
would
saying
think they
goodbye.
wouldn't. You would think I would be evolved enough to be really happy they're going to a family, but like I fell in love with them and I don't want them to leave. So I spend a lot of time in the fetal position on my couch.
Oh, dude, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna like single-handedly make donkeys like a cool pet to have again.
Yeah.
Or
It's cool.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Again.
you had 40 acres in the mule, right? So, it's really, I don't know. It's interesting. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Donkeys are having a moment, and I'm really happy. You know,
Yeah.
100 years ago, someone wrote a cartoon. I don't even know which one that said donkeys are stubborn and stupid, and that narrative just stuck for some reason. So it's what I thought when I met donkeys, and it's the exact opposite. So I'm trying to reframe the conversation. And I have had people say, you know, people have lots of opinions. I'm not very interested in most of them, but I have had people say, you're going to turn the donkey into the Dalmatian from 101 Dalmatians. And everyone's going to get donkeys, just like everyone got Dalmatians, and the shelters are going to get flooded. And I was like, not everyone can get a donkey. Like,
Yeah. They're not
We're
golden.
screening people.
yeah, and
They're
they
not
don't,
golden doodles.
they don't fit in your apartment. So
Right.
like, it's a more limited, but, so I do want to make them cool, but, I do want to tell how cool they are. But I don't think we're going to do wrong by the donkey by getting too many people to fall in love with them.
No, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool because like you were saying, they're like forgotten, but then they actually, you look at them, you're like, they're super cool.
They're super cool.
They have all kinds of like, you know, expression and like life in their face that like humans can identify with, you know, and I don't know, it's pretty neat.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're so cool. So I want to know, has any of your like close friends or people that you've worked with in your past came and visited you
Yeah.
in this situation?
Yeah.
And what were they out there in their Dolce & Gabbana stepping on donkey shit?
Some of them don't leave the house. Some of them roll up their sleeves and go out. And I think, you know, I think people think it's funny, and some people need to see it for themselves. But it's a magical place.
Yeah.
And so once you're there, you're sort of like, oh, this isn't funny. This is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I have welcomed visitors.
And I can imagine they're like, do you hear what Ron's doing now?
Yeah, yeah. I think
We should go
there's-
see this.
What a jackass.
I think the ask jokes
Yeah.
never stop.
Right.
There's so many and they're so easy. So sometimes I don't even acknowledge that I hear it anymore, but I appreciate the effort.
By the way, I'm not impressed.
No, I didn't mean that. I just meant I shouldn't be ignoring you because it's, clever.
So where can people, or first of all, why is it named Oscar's Place?
So my co-founder, so the gentleman who gave me the money and ultimately donated all of that land to me, wanted his legacy on this planet to be animal welfare. And he had a cat that died a couple years ago named Oscar, and he always wanted to name something after Oscar. So I run a donkey rescue named after a dead cat.
Makes perfect sense.
There you go.
Makes perfect
I
sense.
do think, given all the press I've done, I should make up a better story, but that's the story. So
We're being authentic.
Yeah,
here,
that's
man.
right.
That's the new
That's what you
currency,
gotta do.
anyways.
That's right.
Authenticity, right?
Yeah, this world is in dire need of it.
Yeah, with all the AI. So you were saying, like, we kind of land the plane here, but I was just, one last thing I was curious about is when you go to the auctions, a lot of the donkeys that you buy are pregnant. Do you look for that specifically, or like for a 2-for-1 type of thing, or to save two?
not,
I mean, you know
not
what I mean?
necessarily. I mean, sometimes, yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's great, I can save two, but I always manage to a capacity number. So if there's a baby on the inside and I know it, then there's just one less donkey I get there. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think I don't know if there were babies there when you were there. We're getting ready to have a whole slew of them. But they're really joyful and fun. So like I love having the babies and getting the pregnant moms. Oftentimes, because they're pregnant for 14 months, they're there for a year before we even know they're pregnant. So sometimes it's intentional. Most of the time it's just coincidence.
Yeah. And you're just at the auction looking at the best possible fit for...
Yeah, and it's tricky because, of course, it's a very stressful situation for the animals as well. So you don't see the best side of the animals. So it's a...
And they don't have much history when they go to the auction,
history,
right?
and like we bring so much disease back from that auction. And I have 2 donkeys at UC Davis right now who have interstitial pneumonia, and it's a cesspool because nobody cares. They're on their way to slaughter. So they have lice and pneumonia and the flu. So they're not in good shape. And we lose donkeys when we bring them back for sure.
Do you breed them out? No, because I heard you say you castrate.
We castrate every boy. There is no procedure to sterilize a female donkey, which is fine. I think, let the boys take it. The girls have done enough. And so we castrate every boy. It's a pretty brutal surgery because obviously we don't have a hospital. We're not doing it in the hospital. We do it in the field. So when you do major surgery in a non-sterile environment, you have to leave the incisions open and let everything sort of run its course. And so I hate it. But yeah, we castrate all the boys. So no breeding happens.
Well, what a cool thing to have in our backyard. When I saw the billboard and then I was talking with my barber and they were like, yeah, it's like in Hopland. I was like, how cool.
You should come visit. It's a really great place.
I will. I absolutely will. Maybe I'll volunteer or donate or both, but I would love to come check it out.
So where can people donate? What's the easiest way to do that?
Just go to our website. We make it super easy. You could donate by credit card. You can mail us a check. You could use PayPal or Venmo or Zelle, every single way. And I really value every donation. I have this theory about donors that the people who give me $15 a month are as valuable to me. I have somebody that gives me $10,000 a month, but I have a handful of people who give me $1,000 a month. These donors are the same to me because that $15 feels to that person exactly like the $1,000 feels to this person. Like they can do what they can do with the same sort of pain on their own personal budget. So if you look at that, if you look at people are giving me all they can comfortably, then sort of everyone's the same and appreciated. So we work very hard to treat our donors right. So we have lots of fun perks for donors.
Oh, cool. And is there any, besides donating, how else can people help this cause? I
mean, because I have this lighthouse approach where I would like people to find me, like the owner of the Houston Rockets saw me on CBS, and he was like, my grandfather's neighbor had a donkey. This feels nostalgic for me, and he's given me a ton of money. So, you never know who you're talking to, right? And so sharing this podcast, sharing the TV show, I would like people to be exposed to Oscar's Place. So it's super helpful. So, people who share our post on Facebook, it's a very valuable tool for me. So there's lots of ways you can support beyond just giving me money.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, we're happy to get the word out, man. Thanks for
making the time, dude. You're
happy to do it.
An awesome dude, and I love what you're doing out there. Just it brings me joy to hear your story and to watch the TV show and to visit, and it's a really cool thing.
Great. Man. Come back out.
Yeah, I will. I'll bring this donkey with me.
We will end with the ultimate Astro.
I got him more, but I'll save him for another day. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the Donkey King, and
share the show.
Yeah, be a bro. Share the show. See you on the next one.
Bye.